Hello, I'm Gary Gibbons, and in this video I'm going to show you a short overview when working with instrumental loops and Padshop 2 as a loop mangler. Alright, let's start mangling. I have the preset Initialize Time Stretch loaded. First, before I play anything, I want to show you how this preset is set up, okay? This preset uses the LFO3, that is a polyphonic LFO. Here, the waveform that is selected is Sol, and the shape is set to 100%. The shape setting controls the direction that the loop is played. I will go over this a little bit later. The re-trigger is set to on, so the playback always starts the same. The sync mode is set to tempo to get the loop in sync with the DAW, and the rate is set to 4/4. This rate setting is an important part when mangling loops, so we'll get back to that as well. Now, I'm going to move over to the matrix column 1 and 2 to see what has been programmed for this preset. Here, the LFO3 is controlling the spectral position parameter when using the spectral oscillator, and here the LFO3 is controlling the grain position when the granular oscillator is activated. So I could clear the modulation for column 1 or 2 depending on which oscillator I would like to use. All right, let's have a listen to this preset with the spectral oscillator. Next, I'm going to show you my loop workflow and tips when working with the Initialize Time Stretch preset. First, when I'm producing my own loops, I decide the original tempo of the loop that I want to make. So for this example, I'm going to set the BPM to 100. Next, I decide what instruments that I want to use. So to make this simple, I will use Padshop 2 to make 2 sample layers. One synth loop in C2 and another in C3. Okay, so then after designing the loops and getting the levels right, I need to set the range of the region that I want to record. In this case, it is only one measure, so it's like this. Then I name and export my audio to the folder of my choice. After that, I go back to the initial time stretch and load the first sample that I just made by clicking the Load Sample button here. Okay, load it. Then change the root note to C2. Okay, let's have a listen. Now I'm going to go back to the LFO3 section and have a look at the shape parameter. It is set to 100%, making the direction of the playback go forward. If I change the setting to 0%, the playback is now in reverse like this. If I change the value to 50%, it goes forward, then backward. So this is a handy way to dial in the way I want my loop to play back. Okay, now I want to go over to the rate setting. If the value is set to 4/4, the rate is one measure. And if the rate is set to 8/4, it is 2 measures, and so on. So that means that the larger the amount, the loop will play slower, just like this. If I want the loop to play faster, all I need to do is set the rate to half notes or a higher value like this. Okay, great. Now I can set the starting position at a different point of the loop as well. So the position is set to 50% at the moment, and the loop starts at the beginning. If I change the value to 75%, the loop starts at beat 2. And at 100%, the playback starts at beat 3. Okay? And if the value is set to 25%, the playback starts at beat 4, and so on. All right, next I'm going to load my loop mangler tutorial preset to show you how to use the key range with 2 layers. Okay, here I can set the key range of layer A. I have the highest note at B2. Okay, then over on layer B, I have the lowest note on C3. So this can also be a very handy tool when working with loops. For example, layer A has one rhythm and layer B has another rhythm, or uses different instruments and so on. Okay, and I can change the rate of one of the layers, like this, for more variation. Okay, very cool. So this is the basic way to mangle instrumental loops. To take Padshop 2 to another level, I can produce loops that have multiple instruments, like drums, several synths, and any other instrument, all in a single loop. So loops with lots of layers. Then after producing the sound by adding FX, mod wheel commands that control the LFO shape or rate, or any other parameter that can be assigned in the matrix, I can get more interesting results like this. Okay, great. That's it for this tutorial. See you next time.